نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Women working as a makeup artist, or even men these days. Now, the default position is that anything which is not prohibited in Sharia would remain permissible on its own. So, for women to have makeup to get some embellishments within the Sharia boundary with the conditions, it would be permissible to beautify themselves. Now, the form and the style would differ. In the modern time, the stuff and the ingredients, the cosmetics used may or may not be halal itself. One needs to be very clear as to what they are using to beautify someone or themselves. Likewise, the person doing it and the people getting it done on them, their intention must be clear as well. Otherwise, it would be a sinful action. Now, regardless of what the intention of the individual is, if the person doing that work as a business, as long as they are not involved in any haram action, it would be permissible. It would be considered halal. Now, there's so many things that could make it problematic. Despite the essence being halal, like the default position is to work as a makeup artist or having your own business, a saloon, then it should be okay, because for a woman it is permissible to beautify herself. Rather, it is encouraged to beautify herself for her husband. If that's the intention, there is a reward in it. But unfortunately, what happened in the modern time, women tend to not get only the halal ingredients for their makeup. They are so much involved in it to exaggerate their appearance, to enhance it in such a way that they would have to use certain chemicals, cosmetics which have haram ingredient in it, and obviously that would make it impermissible to be used. Likewise, people do get involved in some mask, which is mutilation, like trying to remove the facial hairs which do not resemble men, and they are natural and considered okay by the common people, by normal standards. So just trying to trim the eyebrows using fake stuff to enhance it, having some tattoos. So the artificiality of it, as long as it is done within Sharia boundary, it will be okay. Any haram action involved, any substance which is impermissible involved in doing that, it will be impermissible. Likewise, sometimes they expose the aura, the nakedness, for certain beautification, and that again is not permissible. Nowadays, even men are doing this makeup and other stuff. It is completely haram to go to men for the woman to get the hair set or the makeup or whatever, no matter how urgent or how important that might sound, which is impermissible. Likewise, women doing any makeup for men, that's not permissible either. So as long as the ingredients are halal, done in the Sharia boundaries, within the boundaries, then it is okay. Now, unfortunately, in the modern time, even on weddings, women do not get ready for their husbands. They do it for their photography, for their video filming, for other people to tell them how good they look, because they don't even involve their husband what they're going to wear. And they are not even aware. In fact, they do it whatever they think, and they expect that the husband should like it. And if he doesn't, then there's a big fight, even on the night of wedding. And so that's very clear that they're not doing it for their husband. Otherwise, they would not have exposed themselves to others way before the husband could even see them on that night. So everyone else has already observed her, because she's not observing her hijab or niqab. So it's very clear whether they try to fool others, but everyone knows that these brides, they do not get ready for their husband. They just do for that day, that occasion, that special day in their life that they think. And it would mean that they are going to miss hours and hours in being there, lined up there for a whole day, half day, missing their prayers, whole mahram, non-mahram coming in and going out. It's not a problem. So for them, it is just not just futile, but also highly discouraged, and many haram attached to it. As I said, missing out on prayer, and then wasting a lot of time, causing so many people to wait and delay them for their food, for everything. Now you've invited the guest, and you're actually dishonoring them, disrespecting them. When the guest, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir," whoever believes in Allah in the last day, فَلْيُكْرِمْ ضَيْفَهُ, let him honor his guest. Now when you make your guest come on time, and then by the time the bride arrives, it's too late for them to be able to even enjoy their meal. They just have it because they are bound to have it. They haven't got any alternative, and they're stuck. Some of them have to then go, with their. They might take so long to reach home, and they might not have any alternative for food or stuff. And it's just a waste of time and resources and stress that is attached to it. So there's a lot of problem with that. And the only person who is responsible is that girl, the bride, who is supposed to get a lot of barakah on that day so that she has a successful life afterwards. She is causing everything to deprive herself and her relationship, this new relation, from the mercy and barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by wasting her time in haram, by missing the prayer, not covering herself properly, in very showy clothes, and then thinking that somehow there will be barakah in this life. Obviously, you can't disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and hope barakah. But anyway, that's beside the point. The person who is dealing with the makeup, either as an employee or as a business woman, as long as they are fulfilling the basic Sharia requirement, and that is no haram ingredient, no non-mahram involvement, no going beyond the Sharia boundaries, which is trimming the eyebrows and then, changing the figure, disfigurement through mutilation of any sort, not exposing the aura, then inshallah there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, is it the best type of business, the most barakafied business, full of barakah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Obviously, that's debatable. That perhaps is not the case. There'll be no barakah in such an act, because what are you achieving through that? except when the time in this time especially we know that this is likely to cause more sins by the individual, even if your work is halal, but it is not done for that reason. Women who put on makeup, they spend thousands and thousands of rupees on that. They're not doing it in order to hide themselves or to wash their faces for next prayer or to just, go in sajda with that. They're only doing it so that they can be praised by people. Everyone likes them. They become a souvenir picture that should be posted and put on all the social media so people get them to like it. So intention is bad. Actions are done now to violate the Sharia boundaries. So where could be khair in that? In olden days, people would just get ready within their own homes, and they look so innocent, nice, and pious. I remember all my aunts, my sisters, the generation above us, they all would get ready at home and they all look, mashallah, full of noor. Why? Because they are not wasting money, they're not wasting time, they're not spoiling anything, they're not exposing themselves to anyone else. They're not doing it to show off, they're not doing so to score the point, and no one would comment on others about their clothing and anything. Now, the minute you see each other, you all start talking about this. Just that becomes the next half an hour discussion around who looks how and what's the best one, who is the best one, what sort of matching clothing, this and that. And if you are appreciated by others, then you're happy. If they don't appreciate you, they just spoil your day and you come home fighting with husband whole night because you didn't take me to that place, you didn't book it on time, or this is whatever, or I got delayed because you were shouting or you were doing this. And so they come home in the worst situation. So what sort of barakah is there going to be in those weddings, in those lives? So we have become so much sucked in to this material world. Dunya is our focus, just dunya. We're not bothered about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if we say so, even if we try to believe that, that's, you know, halfway here, halfway there. So this is the sad affair of Ummah, where the mothers to be are like this. And then we expect them to be able to raise kids who would follow the Sharia's principle and they would uphold the boundaries and the banners of Islam. They will be torch bearer for Ummah. And they can't even do anything. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all. So whereas summary is it is permissible with all those conditions.